That's dope. That's dope.
What is up, everybody? It is Monday, August 16th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here in lovely Florida. I got something going on with my head. Look at that. There's a hair right there. What's good? What's popping? What's happening? What's going on? What's up? Hope that you're all enjoying this tremendous altcoin action, Bitcoin action. Seems like just yesterday that we were panicked and depressed. We were at 30K going to 10K and it was over. It was over. The market was dead. Bitcoin was going to zero and we were all going to have fun staying poor. There's one thing I've learned in the past when I've blown up accounts and watched them go to zero. It's that it is not fun staying poor, and you cannot really have fun staying poor. You can have fun being poor, but if you're trying not to be poor, it's really hard to have fun staying poor. But anyways, it's been pretty tremendous. 4 consecutive massive green weekly candles for Bitcoin. Imagine shorting 29K because you thought we were going to 10. That sucks. That sucks. So listen, I'm in the mood to chart. Feeling it, want to find some new trades. So I'm going to look at the top 20 coins by market cap from A to Z and look at them on their Bitcoin pairs and their USD, USDT, USDC, whatever USD you prefer. We're going to look at all those pairs, right? And then we're going to find some trades. But first, before we do all those things, you guys know that this stream every week is sponsored by the amazing people at Kava, and they have had some crazy things going on. If you don't know, they have Swap launching, I believe August 30th at the end of the month, which is their AMM, basically going to put the smackdown on the Uniswaps of the world because it's completely cross-chain and basically all those platforms on steroids. They just did their testnet, I believe, 10 days, 2 weeks ago, something like that. They had 36,000 participants and did $120 million in 7 days on a test net without promoting it. So I think this thing is going to be absolutely huge. If you don't know about it, this is the notes. This is how they describe it. Swap is a liquidity hub bridging DeFi blockchains and financial services to swap the world's largest assets and maximize yields across your entire portfolio. But basically, if you guys don't know about Kava, you should check them out. There's a link down in the description. Absolutely huge, everything they're doing. I mean, this is just basically institutional level DeFi on steroids, right? I mean, we see these crazy hacks and exploits and all this. And you know that institutional money wants a way to get into DeFi, but they haven't had platforms that they can trust until now. So they'll be using Kava, Kava Swap coming at the end of the month. Check all that out. So yeah, let's go ahead. I'm going to miss some of your comments over here because I'm going to be getting my swerve on the charts over here. And when you're swerving on charts, you can't read comments. It's like chart or comment. You can't really do both. So I'm going to dig into the charts right now. So let's first take a look at what we're going to look at. Basically, we got the Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, ADA, XRP, Doge, Polkadot, Solana, now in the top 10. Woo! Bigly, hugely. Uniswap, Chainlink, Btrash. Sorry, Bcash community. Litecoin, Matic, Luna, Ethereum Classic, and Stellar, because we're not going to look at wrapped Bitcoin or any of the stable coins. So let's take a look at Bitcoin first. First of all, 1, 2, 3, 4 weekly candles right off the 50 MA. This is when there was max fear and panic and calm people like me. And I was posting my buys on Twitter. I was like, hey, I'm buying Bitcoin, real casual. I mean, I do that anyways. And people were so mad. Pretty good sign. I tweeted today, basically you can just counter trade the comments on your tweets. Tweet something. If 70 to 80% of the comments are one way, trade the other way. You'll probably make money over time. But you can see here, still, listen, I don't know if it'll happen. It feels like it's going to happen eventually, but I think we should. Doesn't mean we will, but we should retest that 40 to 42,000 area. Just feels I would like to see that tested as support to sort of confirm this move. I know nobody likes to ever see price go down, but I would personally like to see that. That looks really I mean, you can see it here too, right? I mean, coming through here, this would be a really good area to test, maybe dip down here and pop. I know though, for now, the 200 MA is holding. A lot of people want to see that, but I wouldn't mind a wick below it and then to see it come back above. You can see, I mean, I keep posting this and it just hasn't really played out with any strength, but we have these bear divs. That's the daily, 12 hour. I mean, very obvious. I haven't looked at these in a while. 6 hour had a bear div here, 4 hour. Is that higher? No. So no bear divs there except for here. And those actually seem to have kind of played out. But like I would expect, and if you look at that same line that's 42K on a candle chart, it's about 46.67 on a line chart because there's no wicks, right? It's just based on closes. And you can see 1, 2, 3 perfect tests of that as resistance. So maybe seeing that effectively tested as support would be great. Listen, this could, all it has to do is push above 75 RSI. It's already at 65 to invalidate all these divs. And also, like, you know, if this drops below here, you get a lower low in RSI, they're probably going to have a higher low in price and just get a little hidden bear div, hidden bull div, kind of like you did right here, right? Yeah, to this slightly higher low in price and this lower low in RSI. So it's not worrying me. I just think it's saying, hey, we should dip a little bit. Never get what you want. I mean, not much to see on the 4 hour, really not even worth looking at. Yeah. So I would just love to see a little healthy correction there. Let's see what we got going on here with Ethereum. I mean, you know, we got a bull pennant here for sure. And looks like it's breaking out and retesting, and that should target all the way up here, which would send us past the top of this range. But most importantly, regardless, whatever's happening, you draw this a number of ways. Clearly, this has broken out, right? It's in the top half of the range, so it should visit the top of the range by holding the EQ. And look at these tests, right? Every candle here is closed at the EQ or above. This is a nice flip of resistance to support. The EQ, by the way, for those that don't know, I talk about it all the time. You hear the term, means equilibrium, and it's the 50% level of any range, right? So when you take the, I'm going to show you, take the parallel channel tool, right? Whenever you draw a channel or wherever it is, it pulls that 50%, right? So that's how you do that. That's how you draw all these ranges, flags, all that stuff. You go to the parallel channel tool, right? So if you want to make a flag, super cool, right? So yeah, this looks like it's going to hold. I mean, it's tested it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times as support. I think this should head to the top. And, you know, you had this kind of on the Ethereum USD pair, we had this sort of epic resistance here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles either opened or closed exactly at 31.63. It's pretty crazy. So now we flipped it. Be weird to see it drop below, but it could happen. Maybe a wick like that, come a little deeper. The double bottom played out. So maybe I would say I would be bidding Ethereum if you're still bullish between 31.63. That's this line and the top of this range, which is 3,000, 2999.41. So, you know, looking for something like this, pops down and then heads up. Something like that. I mean, everything, these all look bullish, right? And you can revisit. I mean, we charted all the top 10 coins last week, and I said everything looked bullish, and here we are. So you'll see what we charted kind of from last week and before. I showed that this had this sort of potential double bottom. The price was like here, you know, somewhere here. It was actually here. I called this as a potential entry, but said, really, you want to flip this? Well, here we go, right? So we flipped the neckline. That's double bottom. Highest swing point, swing high between them is right here. So that's when you confirm a double bottom. Before that, there is no double bottom. So this candle confirmed the double bottom. This is the target, right around 0.009742. But understandably, you can see where it's struggling at the EQ of this trading range, right? How'd you find this range? From the high right here down to the first major low, right? The swing low. That's the range. You could also, though, draw this as a big old pennant. I'm just seeing this. So you could do it like this too. That's kind of interesting because we're at resistance, you know, like this. And then when you zoom out, it's kind of a symmetrical triangle at the top of this move, which means should theoretically play out and have much higher targets. Looks good at this point, yeah, you want to break this line and break that dash line, get above, flip it, and head up. Looks good though. BNB USDT, kind of same exact thing we've been talking about and watching, looking really good, flipping levels to support. Now it's crossed both the EQ, it's crossed the EQ of the red channel before, and now the range and the EQ of the blue range, and tested it twice as support. So now if it can flip the top of this bottom range, top of the bottom range, figure that out, this is what we should be looking at. 700-ish. Should it return to the highs? 691, right? 691. That'd be a hell of a move from here. Another 50% up, but totally reasonable. If it can, now that it's flipped the EQ of this range to support the blue range, it should target the top. So it has to get out of the red. Really good. ADA, well, that was the trade I had that hit in 2 days, but price ultimately went a lot higher than that and slammed right into supply. 2 big wicks into supply. No mystery that it would get hit there on the Bitcoin pair, but also 2 long wicks down. So this looks like there's a lot of demand buying up this attempted sell. So this looks like it may want to go higher. I mean, it should at least get to the top of the range, but that's not very far away. But if it flips that, oh boy, then you start talking about the higher levels that ADA was back in, previous years. But still at the end of the day, all this price action, ADA is still ranging, right? It's ranging between 0.005028 and 3133. So look at the USDT pair. So now if you're trying to trade it, you want to be above this red range, just to be clear. This also hit its target that I had posted last Monday. I think it was the breakout here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this was last Monday. It was the break of the neckline, right? So again, double bottom, 2 lows. The trade is the break of the neckline. You pull the depth, pull it over here. That gives you your target. So that exceeded its target. So now if I was trading this, again, getting bought up even when it drops. But yeah, if you can get it here at $1.88, catch that. Great. I think this should keep moving until the Alonzo hard fork. I thought that it would dump a little more on the announcement, and it kind of held strong. So it looks like it wants to hold strong. Increasing volume on the move up, decreasing volume as it halts. That usually means bullish consolidation. So we'll have to see how that sort of pans out. If it turns into like a little flag or pennant or something up here. And see what happens. But, I don't think it goes straight up from here, but I would definitely look at buying the dip if that's your thing. XRP, Bitcoin. Same idea from last week. This is what I drew. I have no idea what's going to happen in the future. It was just the idea of what I would take a trade on. It was ranging. Never even came back to retest that, honestly. So I would have missed that trade unless it was a breakout. And I wasn't looking to trade XRP anyways. But the idea was there. And you can see, so now you kind of start talking about higher levels here. This was that clear level there. I don't know. I mean, this looks like a shooting star. If it's followed by a bearish candle, you should see some retracement. So if you're trading it locally, you probably want this, right? So 0.00023340 is where I'd be looking for. Get a nice big dip to there, flip that. Ultimately, maybe these are your targets. XRP USDT. Bounce right off support. Now it's flipping this level. Again, I don't know. I doubt you'll get it. But if you can get 79 cents, there's a Chad candle on the weekly, so maybe it doesn't come back down this far. I would say you have another level kind of like right in here, $1. So maybe if it comes back down to like $1, you consider buy it. I can't buy a weekly candle like that personally, but there's people out there who might want to do that. I don't know. Maybe I'm coming to check out your comments for a hot second over here. I don't know. There seems to be some sort of fake me in here. What the hell is that? Pinned by Scott Melker? Bro, I don't know who's pinning things, but I am not pinning things. So I'm going to have to figure out what's going on there. I am not in the comments for anyone who's seeing these pinned things. I am not asking anyone to direct message me. Let me block that user, see if that works. Sorry, trying to block that. Yeah, okay. That seems like I managed to block that. Why do you call yourself the Wolf of Wall Street? Yeah, it's a really good question because for some reason people think well, I guess it's for obvious reason, think it's like some Jordan Belfort thing that I think I'm like the Wolf of Wall Street. No, I called myself the Wolf of Wall Street as a complete joke because when I started in crypto, people would, whenever I would post charts, people would say things like, shut up, DJ, go back to DJing, you suck. And so it was just to say, jokingly, I was like, I could do all this, man. I can do more than one thing. Nobody can put you in a box. So it was all streets. Yeah. So that was how the name came about. And then it got stuck. I put it up as a joke and people started calling me Wolf. And then I was like, oh, I gotta do that. I gotta be that. So yeah, I think I blocked that scammer that was doing scammings. Oh, Future Unchanged is here. What's up, man? Can you quit your job at McDonald's now? I don't know. What level are you at McDonald's? Did you make it to fry cook or are you still like doing floors? I need more information. So like half the comments are, hi, Scott, because they're responding to the scammer that was being scammy. Yeah. Scott, can you explain what's the difference between classic chart patterns and your style? Well, I started with classic chart patterns and I think that's still at my core, but then I sort of over time incorporated, supply and demand and support and resistance. And so I sort of put them all together and do my style. Everyone has their own style, guys. Everybody has their own style. You do what works for you. So XRP, yeah, if you can get a dip to here, maybe to here about $1.10, down to 79 cents. That's what I would be looking for. Doge against Bitcoin. We drew this last week, flipped it. There you go. So it looks like it's headed here, but nobody's trading Doge against Bitcoin anymore, which is weird to me. Let's be real. Everybody's trading Doge on this pair. Well, there's a massive bearish divergence, but that won't matter. I had this trade last week. I posted this. And it hit its target almost exactly. It appears, right? Bull pennant, breakout, up. Mark Cuban said like Doge is the greatest medium of exchange in crypto. Elon Musk is back on his shit, so no surprises that this is going back up. Lots of volume. This is on Binance, but like look how dead it was for a long time. Lots of volume now. Let's see what it looks like on the daily. Yeah, I mean, bumps and bruises aside, this should be headed to 44 cents in my opinion. It'll have its down ups and downs. And if it drops to 28 cents, I think that was on the other 4-hour chart as well. Oh, thought that was there. But yeah, I mean, that seems like a logical place to try to catch it, even though it's been tested once. It's kind of at resistance now here too, but ultimately I think it should be heading up to here. Nice little bump in volume. Although my trade on this, like my thinking, I didn't actually trade it, has played out, right? That was the target. I would have been out of this at 34 cents personally. Buy the dips. Like 4-hour definitely had bearish divergence right there. Massive bearish divergence there. But that's kind of a hidden bull div right there. I will see. I don't know. But this is pretty overbought. I would imagine it'll make that trip to oversold at some point. So I'd be looking for an entry back at like 28 cents, 29 cents if you can get it. DOT. Man, I posted this trade a lot. It did not follow the path, but ultimately it got to where we were talking about, right? I drew this back 1st of August, so 15 days ago, but we had this confirmed double bottom and never retested, which is fine. And the target for that was around here. Now it's broken above that. So, if you're looking for a DOT entry on the Bitcoin pair, you want here or here, right? This is demand. Demand is drawn off the last down candle before a major move up. The idea behind these zones like this, if you're wondering, like why do you see people draw these supply and demand zones? The idea is that when price exits this fast after a down candle, there's a lot of leftover buy orders that didn't fill. Like someone was trying to buy all down through here and it just exited out. So next time price visits that area, there should be standing bids and a lot of people interested. So I would be looking for either a retest of this level, and if that drops, maybe you catch a wick. So maybe spread bids throughout all of those, and then you're starting to get resistance. You're at resistance right here, maybe, and then here. I think you should look for a dip on this. A lot of volume. Let's look at it on the USDT pair. I mean, I posted this in the newsletter last week, I think, 2 weeks ago, week and a half ago, right here at $19. We're at 25. Clear descending wedge, clear breakout, clear retest. So, my target was $28. I think $28.96. I think we'll still get there. If that flips, then we start talking about this supply area. Same idea, right? Major dump. So the last candle up before the major dump, a lot of sellers still interested in this area. So for me, the first target is here, and if it flips it again, I enter back, head up to here. Ultimately here, if you can break through that zone. My approach to DOT. Solana, Solana just starting to have the NFT massive launch there, the apes or whatever the hell you guys are cartoons you guys are trading today. It's above my head, but I love you. Love y'all for doing it. Seems fun. I don't get it. So I'm going to stick to what I know, and that is not punks and apes and penguins. Happy for you guys. Happy. So first, we got to close above here on the daily, right? For this to be price discovery. Because if this closes down here, this could be a savage bearish SFP, which is when you see that wick above and a close below a previous swing high. That means there's a lot of liquidity for selling here. So we want to close above that line. Once you close above that line, it's safe to try to catch that dip and just ride this into price discovery, right? And I shared this literally like days ago. I didn't expect it to happen that fast, but this looked right here like it wanted to break that resistance, test the support, head up. So I already hit the first target, and now you're looking again for that same this, right? Now that we're here, that. It's got to close above. But this looks massively bullish on huge volume. Huge volume. All right, I'm going to start closing these up so we can make some room for these other charts up here. Oh, I'll save it. We'll save it. That didn't work. Save it. I'm not sure if it's not working for whatever reason. Okay. So Uniswap, I guess, is next. I'm going to come back to the comments real quick. Yeah, I'm going to get to Matic. Bullish Gartley, bro. Yeah, I think a Bullish Gartley is a pretty good name. I don't really have a favorite, but Bullish Gartley is pretty sweet. XLM is right at the end of the top 20. We'll get there. Luna, I will get there. Someone asked for Matic. I will get there. Those are all in the top 20. Yeah, I see a whole lot of cash tags up here. I should make a book. I would love to make a book, but there's great books. Big Cheds just wrote a book. You can take my mentor, Chris Ink's class. There's a lot of people who do it better than me. I'm not saying that the bear div on Bitcoin won't matter. I'm saying that the structure of that bear div looks like it would probably be invalidated by a hidden bull div very quickly. Fries is where the big bucks start rolling in. That was when someone asked me about McDonald's earlier, I made the fry cook reference. This is a reference for those of you who are not old or not savvy, because you know that I know every movie quote and song lyric. This is a reference to the movie Coming to America with the comedian Louis Anderson, overweight white guy, and he's working at McDowell's, and he says that to Eddie Murphy, aka Prince Hakeem. He says it to Hakeem when talking about his potential career advancement at McDowell's restaurant. Fries is where the big bucks start rolling in, right? And that's, I think, right before someone comes in to rob McDowell's restaurant, and that person who robs McDowell's restaurant is Samuel Jackson. Samuel Jackson is the thief who robs McDowell's restaurant in Coming to America. And as we've discussed before, the guy getting his haircut when he's like missing with the scissors is Cuba Gooding Jr. And if we want to continue this game of 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, Cuba Gooding Jr. was basically got famous as the role of Trey in Boys in the Hood, which just had, I believe, its 30th anniversary. But he was not supposed to be the star of Boys in the Hood. The star of Boys in the Hood was supposed to be Will Smith, but he had a conflict with the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and was not able to be in Boys in the Hood with Ice Cube and Morris Chestnut and Lawrence Fishburne. Knowledge. So let's look at Uni. Swap. Uniswap. Swap it. Nothing's changed for me. This is when we looked at it last week as a top 10. Either it comes down here, it gets above. Right now, you're floating in no man's land. Not interested in Uni on the Bitcoin pair. But this looks pretty interesting right here on the USD pair right there. You guys saw that Walmart is hiring. Biggie once said that UPS is hiring as an insult, but not Walmart. But Walmart is hiring. Walmart's hiring a head of like blockchain, meaning, hey, they're probably going to move into the cryptocurrency space and start taking it as payments. Was it Craig Mack that said it, right? You're mad because my style and you're admiring. Don't be mad. UPS is hiring. Yeah, it wasn't Biggie. Biggie was on Flavor in Your Ear with Craig Mack, but Craig Mack said that. So I don't want to confuse you guys. Yeah, don't be mad. UPS is hiring. It's Craig Mack. Here comes a brand new flavor in your ear. Time for new flavor in your ear. I'm kicking new flavor in your ear. Got the brand new flavor in your ear. When Biggie came out, Craig Mack was actually like the first dude on Bad Boy and Puffy to promote Biggie. He made like hamburger boxes, and one like it had the mixtape inside, and one side was Craig Mack, and one side was Biggie. And he branded it as Big Mac. Big Mac. So Uni USDT, if this can hold above $30, this looks like it's going to $44, in my humble opinion. We drew this before it happened, and look, 1, 2, 3 wicks below, all closing right at that line. This looks really good for a move to 44. Might even take a note of that for tomorrow's newsletter, potentially. Not much to say. That looks good. That looks pretty good. Don't be mad, guys. UPS is hiring. Link Bitcoin. Well, this jumps right out at me, right? This looks like a cup and handle. My style you're admiring. Don't be mad. UPS is hiring. This is what you're looking for on this, right? Looking for it to, if you were going to have a couple of handle, you'd have like a little bull flag here, right, at resistance. Might just skip it. So that is more interesting than actually I'm giving it much credit for. Okay, let's dig into this because this looks pretty sweet when I zoom out. Let's go to the daily. This is a lot going on here. So that's accurate. But what's more accurate here is you kind of have this inverse head and shoulders right into support. Spike in volume in the head, slight spike in volume there. You would need a major spike in volume, which we're starting to get on the breakout. So you kind of have this, which makes sense, an inverse head and shoulders. A cup and handle is a continuation pattern. So you had to move up and then you have the cup. So right now, maybe you get a little rejection here and then head up. But you have a inverse head and shoulders that's about to break out, maybe. Left shoulder. I mean, technically, it would be here. See, right? Because that's the neckline between the two shoulders that hit it exactly. So you can't trade that till it's above that blue line. So yeah, I mean, maybe you get some consolidation here and break above. But this has a lot of potential and also looks like a some kind of cute animal, right? Isn't it cute? Maybe a little hair, some ears. Little guy, little cute little guy. Yeah, I just should not have deleted that last line. Yeah, I'll be watching this closely because if that breaks out, you got a mega trade. Right. Yeah. Here to here being the depth. Oh, that didn't work at all. So, you're talking about, depending on where it breaks out, a move all the way up to a 50% move or something. All right. So we'll be keeping our eye on that. Don't be mad though. UPS is hiring. What is happening? Did see, guys, I'm going to explain this to those of you who don't know. I have ADD, and when my mind gets going, I can go from one thing to the next thing to the next thing, and it's like an endless thing. Like if I had taken that past Will Smith or Ice Cube or Morris Chestnut, we could have gone, whoo, deep. Could have gone deep. All right, Link USD looking just delicious. Just looking like you want to just dip into it. I was gonna say dip your balls in it. Like, remember that old skip? I dip my balls in it, but people wouldn't know that was an old thing, and then they'd think I was weird. So I can't say I dip my balls in it on a live stream because then you guys would think I was weird. So I wouldn't say that. I can't say that. Can't even say that I was thinking that. I mean, this is a massive resistance, but for now, do you guys remember that? I dip my balls in it. Do you remember that? No. Fine. Okay, so you flipped just like that BNB chart, right? You flipped the EQ of this smaller range, and now you're flipping the EQ of the bigger range. So this should be heading up to $53 if it can hold above here. Also flipping the 200 MA in the same spot. So I would imagine a lot of resistance at 35, probably some resistance here at 44. But ultimately, if this closes above strong, I would look for a retest of this whole area, something like this, and a move to the top. Thank you, Link Marines. Now that we've charted all these so bullish today, the whole market is inevitably going to dump, right? That's what's going to happen. I'm just telling you, everything, these look bullish. I can't. Oh, God, Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash. There's people who love this coin so much. Are any of you Bitcoin cashers? Are any of you Bitcoin cashers? Cashes who cash Bitcoin Cash? Any of you? Do you cash in on Bitcoin? No, none of you do. Look at that, head and shoulders though. Yeah. So okay, well, I'll look at it. I'm gonna do you guys one. Forget all this. Let's get rid of all the lines. This is my TA for Bitcoin Cash over time. I'm just kidding. I don't really hate Bitcoin Cash. I hate it. It sucks. But yeah, that's your line, right? And those touches and you pull it back through here, that's a lot of action in there, right? All the way back to here, actually. So that's the line. I'm not touching it below that. If it gets above that, you're going to here, right? Got all this price action, and then ultimately to this cluster. So you see a cluster like this, that's going to be resistance, right? Price is not going to pass through that easily after there was that much action there and a major dump to get out of it. So I wouldn't touch this now. I would want to see a breakout of that. Bitcoin Cash. Nothing is worse than Bitcoin Cash except Bitcoin Satoshi Vision. Satoshi Vision. How dare you say what Satoshi's vision is? That doesn't really suck. It just sucks. It's a fork of Bitcoin that was contentious and kind of unnecessary. It does have an ecosystem. It's just people just don't like that it was forked off of Bitcoin. It was very contentious. Did Bitcoin really need Bitcoin Cash? I don't know, man. Save it for somebody who cares. I care deeply. This actually looks kind of good though. That's big weekly structure, but that's just because Bitcoin did that, right? But you had this reversal candle, these weekly. So if you get it now at 638, I think that's not even a great line. This just looks like a head and shoulders. So it's really hard to find key levels. Daily. I mean, this looks good. I don't want to, whatever. Looks good because it's like got this sort of rounding bottom, right? And so it already broke this level. This is the USD pair, case y'all's was wondering. Let's say you got a level here ish. Break above that. Think you can, oh no, I clicked off of it. I think you can target here, 1642. That'd be a massive move. Do you remember that weekend when it did all this? It's crazy. This looks kind of good. I don't want to say it looks good, but it looks kind of good. One of the craziest weekends I ever had was trading Bitcoin Cash. If you guys remember that one volatile weekend where it was swinging like $300-400 an hour, you could just buy anytime it went down and sell anytime it went up endlessly for like 48 hours. It was sweet. And it was all with the free Bitcoin Cash you got from the fork. So I guess people should like Bitcoin Cash. We should appreciate that it was free. Yeah, at this point, I'm looking for, I'm not looking for anything, but either here or here. That's my thought on the Bcash. Litecoin looks good. I've been sharing these trades. Double bottom. That's already hit. It's a really small double bottom, though, so no big deal. But this is breaking out, right? So it should be going to 4182. And if it flips that, resistance here, ultimately resistance here. Give you an idea. I mean, if you're ever in doubt, when you're first starting and you don't know how to draw any of this stuff, just pull fibs. They almost inevitably line up with key levels, right? That's right here at this drop. This one was support under all these. It's not exact, but it'll give you, right, 4268, 4182. These are right next to where I would draw it. This will be a supply zone. I mean, just pull fibs, right? And you can see how this has barely even made a move yet. So if this is bottom, you should at least get to here, even if it's going to drop again. That looks good. Let's look at the USD pair. It's about to hit its target that I shared from this double bottom, 195. I've been talking about that quite a lot, and I posted this in the newsletter on the break here as the first entry. So again, just pull fibs. Same vibe, right? Look how good that fib is right there. Solid. This one's good right around the top. So I would say the first target was 195. Then I'd be looking for pullbacks to buy it. But I mean, as long as Bitcoin doesn't die, these are going to all just continue to absolutely boom. But this looks like it's about to already hit its target. So I don't see an immediate trade on it. Maybe, flipping this level. Seems like the entry was below. Polygon, Matic. That line I would move to here. I mean, this is one of my biggest bags. To be fully transparent, I have many, many Matics, and I have it from like fractions of a penny down below. Right? We'll look at it on the USDT. Let's see something. Just ideas. It's a pretty good idea. Not a bear flag because it's not really at the bottom of a flagpole. So it's just an ascending channel. Down, up, down, up. Just follow that to heaven, bro. But bullish markets tend to break up ascending wedges, rising wedges, and ascending channels. Bitcoin has a tendency to do that. But maybe, if you can catch this dip to the center of that and this line, that would be sweet. So maybe a dip here follows this up. But generally, I think floodgates open above 3374, this line right here. Let's keep going. Matic USDT, I mean, it broke out. That's it. Broke out. It's broken out. Should be heading up. Nice V. You could make that inverse head and shoulders. Breaking out, it would be like right here. But yeah, this looks really good. $1.50, not something to sneeze at. But yeah, buy the dip. If this comes down to 125, catch it to 171. If it flips 171, you're on your way to $2.70. Buy the dip. Buy the dip on Matic. Coming back to the comments real quick. Where's heaven? I can only go back to song lyrics. Ooh, baby, do you know what that's worth? Ooh, heaven is a place on earth. They say in heaven, love comes first. Let's make heaven a place on earth. Ooh, baby, do you know what that's? I have not done Luna yet. Do you feel like you've become a better trader since you started making content 5 days a week? No. I find that I don't have time to really trade. So I don't trade that much. I become like a long-term sort of, I'm swing trading months and month-long trades, just buying dips on stuff that I want. So I don't know. I think that, less is more with trading for me. I think maybe after you've done it for a really long time, then you just kind of look at a chart, you see what you want, set your alarms, and you close it. And if you're analyzing so deeply, it's just too much. I'm looking at too many charts now to even know what I want to get in. Looking back here, can you please share your fib setup in TradingView checkboxes and stuff? Sure. 1 second. That's Luna's not the right place to do it. Okay, but this is not fibs that are worth, although this is targeting the 1.68 extension. So let me pull my fib. So I have all of these, and sometimes I use the 0.705, which is not a fib. Okay, so 50% is not a fib. So technically these are your fibs, right? I mean, you can pull more extensions. I just end up with a lot of nonsense on my chart. 0.5 I always use because, most bounces are 50% impulsive bounce on a drop or a rip. And stock traders love using 50%, so I've always used it. And 0.705 is considered the OTE, the optimal trade entry by like institutional flow traders. So I'll often put that on my chart as well. But it's not a fib. It's just a retracement level. But these are my fibs. I don't think that, if that helps. Write it down, take a picture, screenshot it. Sound like Smokey and Friday. Remember it, write it down, take a picture. I don't give a fuck. Bye, Felicia. Luna, I mean, it's gone. Luna's gone. But it hasn't retested the all-time high here. So that's your entry if you get a dip. Otherwise, I don't know how high it's going to go. Maybe it'll create new levels on the way. But for now, this is what I want from Luna, right? There's nothing else above here. There was that 1.618 extension, if that's your thing. But yeah, nothing to see here except for, and this is against Bitcoin. So let's look at the USDT chart. It's going to be even better. Yeah, Luna's going to the Moona. This is actually, if you're looking for an entry on the other chart, watch this, right? Because if this gets rejected here, you come down, get a better entry. But if this clears and closes above, you're officially in price discovery and you're looking to buy dips. Same thing. I mean, this is price discovery, right? Kind of a massive sort of cup and handle vibe here. I would not be surprised to see this consolidate down and then head up. That would be pretty sweet. Ethereum Classic had this descending channel, slight wedge, slightly, we were inverted, slightly like that. This is the weekly chart too. Let's see what the daily chart shows us anything interesting. I mean, either way, this looks like some sort of bullish consolidation. So should eventually head up. I just don't like, it's hard to draw a line with this pump here. I don't know. I don't know. This is clearly a key level and it's right at it right now. I just don't see like an entry that I want to jump at on this. Doesn't look bad. I mean, it looks like a bull flag or not a flag or pennant because of this wick. Maybe if we draw it like this. Don't you guys love listening to me talk to myself? Do it all day. My wife has to listen to this all day. So maybe, if you ignore that wick, which I don't like to do, that's why I have a problem with this. Then we've broken out. And this is a local resistance. So maybe if you get above here, you start looking at it. 777. Let's see if we get a clarity on the USD side of it. Yeah, I mean, look at that volume. This is weekly as well. I had posted this. We had caught this trade right down in here. Yeah, I mean, anything above $47 looks really good. Kind of what I'm, that's price discovery. I mean, it seems to have held. This should be headed to 176 again if the market remains bullish. And looks like volume's increasing again. It's hard to see here, but you can see it if you kind of drill in. Not much, but going up. Hard to trade this. Really jagged price action. Somewhere in here is resistance, right? Off the bottom of this candle. Let's see if I can get it. Really hard here. Yeah. So maybe if you're trading it locally, it's something just above this area or something. I don't know. I don't really like it. I don't know. It's just really hard to chart. But again, this looks like a rounding bottom. Could cup and handle. Not a rounding bottom, by the way, is technically a low. You don't get the cup and handle effect. So a rounding bottom is more like, I keep saying it because it's just familiar, but this is my favorite rounding bottom that many of you definitely caught with me because that's a rounding bottom. What you see on a launch of a lot of new coins where there's excitement, they kind of come around because a rounding bottom, a cup and handle, like I said, is continuation. It can't be at the bottom. But say that there was say that there was some sort of that there was some price action here, right? And then you get this, a cup and handle stops here, consolidates and goes up. A rounding bottom doesn't stop, just goes straight up. I don't know on Ethereum Classic, that's the answer, but that looks like it's going to head up to there. It really does. Stellar. This is the last one. Last one. I'll move this down here at this point. Make this more simple. Need to break that. And then you start looking at this area. When you're drawing lines, you start on the right and pull back to the left, like reading Hebrew, right? So that's clearly where that breakdown happened. That. And then pretty much here, right? Let's see how fibs line up with that. They don't because you can't pull them. Pretty close. Same areas. So I'd be looking for a flip of this 861 or else buy the dip in anticipation. Let's see what the USDT pair looks like. Flipped that. Yeah, I mean, anything above this 36-cent area looks good. And we had this descending wedge that broke out on strength, on volume, now heading up. Everything looks like a buy the dip opportunity that's slightly overheated right now. That's my general vibe on the entire market. So what's Bitcoin doing? Nothing. That's why altcoins look good, because Bitcoin's doing nothing. Beautiful. Beautiful. Cool. All right, coming back to the comments. Let's see what's happening over here. Dude, that heaven song is stuck in my head now. Fuck my life. You're welcome, Mateo. I can give you this one. And she's buying a stairway to heaven. Stairway to Heaven. Greatest middle school and camp slow dance song of all time for my generation. Why? First of all, it's an amazing song. And it gets that like upbeat part. So you can kind of like, when it picks up. But the song's like 9 minutes long. And so you would like hover around the girl that you really wanted to dance with and just wait for Stairway to Heaven come on. And when Stairway to Heaven come on, you'd be like, you'd run at her and be like, oh, let's dance. And then you'd do this thing. Because the teachers would like put a balloon or a soccer ball between you or something. So lame. Yeah. Yeah, so now Mateo, you have Stairway to Heaven in your head too. There's a lot of heaven songs. A lot of heaven songs. You can go, yeah, best song of the prom 1976 had to be, because you just got to like, I mean, if ever you were going to like get a girl to like you, you had 9 minutes attached to her hip. 9 minutes. Rounded bottoms are sexy. Yeah, apple bottoms. Just streaming back to see what else you guys got to say before I get in here. Scott, I heard serum is 100x potential. You share that thought. I would never, ever, ever share the thought that's, I mean, that's like 100x, maybe, sure, but why? Like what? I don't know, man. I don't know. More Friday. What's up, Boyd? More Friday lyrics. You gotta knock the fuck out, man. He gonna cry in the car. Yeah. Yeah, apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur. The whole club was looking at her. She hit the flow. Next thing you know, she got low, 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 low. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Stairway to Heaven is great to play on guitar. Oh, that was an annoying sound. I should never make that again. Yeah, so let's anything else worth it? Someone asked about Rune. I do want to check Rune because I had a trade on that recently. That's fine. Looks good. There you go. Yet again, sort of an inverse head and shoulders with a cup in hand all breaking out. Right? That same vibe. Looks great. Rune looks great. That looks great. There you go. Boom. Oh, wow. That lines up right with resistance. So $14. Rune, $14. You heard it here first, folks. Will it happen? Stay tuned next week. Stay tuned next week. Wow, lots of comments to fly it in. Thoughts on ADA? I literally looked at that already. Spindiana Jones and the Temple of Boom. It's clever. Hey, Scott, top 3 altcoins for long-term hold, say 3 years from now. I don't know. No idea. No idea. Whatever you like. Link probably would do really well as an Oracle. Ethereum, obviously, if you consider that an altcoin. I don't know, man. There's lots. Born and raised, listen to Bone Thumbs and Harmony ever Meget. Meget. That's French, right? Meget. I love Bone Thumbs. Everybody knows that. You feeling the strength that rump? Yeah. Yeah, I think we're pretty much done here. I think we did it all. I looked at 20-ish coins, both pairs. I think that's enough. Things look bullish, guys. Things look bullish. Once again, I want to remind you that this is sponsored by Kava. Do me a favor. Click on the link down below. Show them some love. And show me some love. Show them that you got some love from the love that I loved. And otherwise, I will be back on Wednesday from a Chartapalooza. 2 p.m., same time, same place. Yeah, I mean, that's it, guys. This has been fun. It's real fun. Just remember that heaven is, in fact, a place on earth. Peace.
That's dope.